Education Trust is part of the initiatives of WIEF. Actually, there are two main components of WIEF. One is what we call the program component. That is where we do the conference on a yearly basis, that we change venues from country to country, depending upon the biddings made by countries. So that is called the program aspect of WIEF. Then there is the other, what we call the activities. This activity, there are three activities that have been identified by WIEF, namely the women activity, and the youth activity, and the education activity. Now, the education activity is not intended, in a broad sense of the term, to reinvent the wheel, in the sense that to do what other countries are doing, like initiating primary education or initiating education. They already have that education system. What we intend to do under the WET, that means the WIEF Education Trust, is to focus into areas on certain aspects that have not been done by the main education systems particularly in the Islamic countries. It is predicated on this idea of capacity building. For example, that we promote the idea of linking institutions, training institutions. For example, that institutions in most countries are standalone. We identify really disadvantaged areas. We do it in Malaysia. We do not want to be Malaysian-centric as such. We of course invite other countries to do this, but they say that let Malaysia run it first, so we don't mind doing that. So we have identified three very disadvantaged areas. And these areas one is the fishing area, the other is the Aborigines area, because we want to bring them to join the modern world, and the other is the very remote area that people seldom visit, that's in Sabah and also Sarawak. So what we do is that we publish through our flyers, give information with regard to the communities in these respective areas, and the one prohibition, so to speak, that we make is that you do not bring an alien thing into these areas, because that will be artificial. What we want to do is that capacity building, so that people identify certain potentials within their own areas and develop it, which, for example, they do not. People, look but do not see, is usually the case. But perhaps when other people come in, for example, they look and they see some of this potential. So you're not allowed to bring, for example, if they don't have tractors, you bring in tractors. That's bringing an alien element there. So we want to develop the things that are already there, and that is the idea of developing the capacities within that. So what we do is that we send flyers to all the institutes of higher learning, our universities, and our universities, some universities, they have foreign students. We also invited some of the students from other countries to participate. I officiated that session in Sabah recently, and there were students from Sudan and also in Singapore. So I said, you're welcome to come and participate in this. They're supposed to send in their proposals. We give a description of these places, and we encourage them to go and visit these places. And education has lost its focus. And I say that this because people do not realize there is, in terms of the argument, there is a real tension between two opposing perspectives, namely the exchange value. And when I talk about exchange value, there are two exchange values that are in the opposite ends of each other. One is the social exchange value, the other is the market exit value.